Hello students, how are you all? I am Vinita. Today I am going to explain English Reader Chapter 4, The Wrong House. This story is written by James N. Young. Now I would like to tell you the characters of this story. Characters are Hasty Hogan, Blackie Burns and Mr. Samuel W. Rogers. Hasty Hogan and Blackie Burns. They both were two burglars and robbers that had gotten in trouble because they had hit a van. Mr. Samuel, he was the man who lived at Plant View 6329 and also the chief of the police. Now the theme of the story is crime, because Hasty and Blackie have done many crimes, and at the story they were talking about the crime they have done and them getting caught. Now we will start the story. The Wrong House. Two men ran quietly towards the house. One of them carried a small suitcase. When they reached the porch, they stopped and listened. The night was dark and silent. You know the meaning of porch? Porch means a covered shelter protecting in the front of entrance of the building. Now, the night was too dark and the house was dark and silent. Two men ran towards it quietly. They slipped quickly through the dark bushes which surrounded the house. One of the men took out a bunch of keys. They entered by the light of the torch. They examined the room. It was a large living room. The furniture was covered. Dust lay over everything. One of the men spoke. "Well, Blackie," he said, "looks as if the family is away on holiday." They searched the house. There was no doubt. The family was away. Actually, when they entered the room and the light, the torch, what they saw? They saw that everything covered with dust. Actually, they both were happy to see. Fortunately, the family was away on holiday and it was their luck. Now see, Hasty Hogan and Blackie Burns were in luck. Only once in the past 10 days had their luck failed them. It had been soon after they made their big robbery in that town on the coast. Blackie, who had been driving the car, ran over a policeman. They had abandoned the car and run for their lives. You know the means of run over? Run over means knocked a person down and drove over his body. And abandon means left. Now, they felt themselves lucky. Their name was Hasty Hogan and Blackie Burns. They thought that sometimes their luck got failed, but this time they got the big opportunity. Every moment it had been done with them. When they made their robbery, they left the car and ran away to save their life once. Blackie had been driving the car, ran over a policeman. Now see, and now they were here in a strange town without a car, but they had the suitcase and the $300,000 in it. "We have to get a car," said Hogan. "We can't steal one. It's too dangerous. We have to buy one, but what we are going to do with the suitcase?" said Burns. "Hide it right here until we get a car. Now they were in a strange town with $300 in the suitcase. Hogan said without a car, they can't continue their robbery. Burns asked that what would they do with the suitcase? They can't carry it everywhere. Now see the next line. And so they hid the suitcase. They carried it down to the coal cellar and buried it in the pile of coal. You know the means of cellar? An underground room used for storing things. We can say it that it is a storeroom placed underground, right? Now, just before dawn, they stepped out. Say Blackie, Hogan remarked. The name of the gentleman we are visiting is Mr. Samuel W. Roger. Then they hid the suitcase in that underground storeroom and buried it. You know the means of buried? Buried means cover up and or place the things underground. Pile means it is a collective noun, a heap of things laid one on the top of another. Dawn means the first appearance of the light in the sky before sunrise. Right? Now see, when they go away from the house, Hogan stroked one name in his mind, that was Mr. Samuel W. Roger. When they entered the house. Right? Now see next. Shortly after the automobile showroom opened, Hogan and Burns had their car. They stopped the car a short distance from the house. Hogan got out and walked towards the house. 50 yards from the house he stopped. The windows were open. The family had returned. Hogan thought quickly. Quickly he said to Burns, "Let's find a telephone." Now see, after that they bought a car. But in 50 yards far from the house, they stopped the car and Hogan got out and rushed towards the house. They seemed the window were open and they thought that the family had returned now. See, quick, he said to Burns, "Let's find a telephone." 10 minutes later, Hogan was consulting a telephone directory. Yes, there it was. Samuel W. Roger. Plainview 6329. A moment later, he was talking to Mr. Rogers. "Hello, is this Mr. Roger? Mr. Samuel Roger?" "Yes, this is Mr. Rogers." Hogan cleared his throat. "Mr. Roger," he said in a sharp official tone, "this is police headquarters. I am Simpson, Sergeant Simpson of the Detective Division." See, consulting means getting information from. After 10 minutes, Hogan was searching the name of Mr. Samuel Roger in telephone directory. It was there. After that, he called Mr. Roger. His tone was very official, sharp and impressive. Now he changed his voice and his name also. That was Mr. Sergeant Simpson. Actually, he remarked himself as a detective. Okay. Now see, the chief of the police, you know, Hogan said, has ordered me to get in touch with you. He is sending me out with one of our men to see you. Actually, Hogan said that the chief of the police ordered him to see you. One man also with him. His name was Johnson, right? And said that regarding also some important matter, he wants to talk with Mr. Roger. Mr. Roger asked that I am in trouble of some kind. No, nothing like that. But I have something of importance to talk to you about. Very well, said Mr. Roger. And Mr. Roger Hogan continued, please keep quiet about this. Don't say anything to anybody. Okay. Next, Hogan explained his idea to Burns. Within 10 minutes, Sergeant Simpson and Detective Johnson were speaking to Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was a small man. He was nervous and badly frightened man. Hogan told Mr. Roger the whole story. Mr. Roger was delighted to be of help. Together, he and Hogan dug up the suitcase. They took it to the living room and opened it. All the money was there, safe. Now see, he said that the chief of the police ordered him to see you. One man also with him. His name was Johnson. Okay. Now matter he wants to talk with the Mr. Roger, that was very important. He said to Mr. Roger, but don't say anything to anybody. You know, students, that was only the Hogan's idea. He thought that Mr. Roger was a common man, and he would frightened. And easily they got the suitcase and ran away from there. But in real, you know who was Mr. Roger? As I said earlier, that he was the chief of the police himself. Hogan also not known, and he narrated the whole story to the Mr. Roger, and after knowing about them, Mr. Roger called the men in the police uniform. Okay, and now Mr. Roger Hogan announced, in the best official manner, Johnson and I must run along. The chief wants a report. We have to catch the rest of the robbers. I will be in touch. He picked up the suitcase and rose. Burns rose. Mr. Roger also rose. The three men walked to the door. Mr. Roger opened it. Come on in, boys, he said pleasantly. And in walked three men in police uniform. What does it mean, Mr. Roger? Asked Hogan. It is quite simple, said Mr. Roger. I am the chief of the police. Yes, when he narrated the whole story to Mr. Roger, on that time, he also not known who is Mr. Roger. And after knowing about them, Mr. Roger called the men in the police uniform and tell them that he is only the chief of the police. He was very surprised. Hogan was very surprised. My God, their idea got failed now, this time also. So students, how was the story? I hope you like it. We will meet soon in the next video. Till then, goodbye.